How to prepare for GDPR with days to go. One of the most significant changes to data privacy rules in a generation will take effect May 25, 2018, and very few businesses are truly ready for it. Only about 15% of European Union-based companies surveyed by Deloitte last year think they will be fully compliant by the start date for the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. The regulation, which was officially adopted in 2016 after years of discussion, gives European Union residents far-reaching abilities to inquire about and control how corporations collect, protect, and use their personal information. The rules stretch far beyond the 28 European Union member nations and apply not solely to businesses with headquarters within the European Union. Companies with European vendors, employees, or even a single customer will need to comply with a regulation that allows citizens to inquire about the data collected on them, opt out of any ongoing marketing, and be able to have the information deleted upon their request. That enforcement has a punitive risk too, with regulators able to levy fines of up to 4% of a company's annual turnover. The GDPR's enactment is expected to shift the way corporations digitally interact with their users and codify a new wave of data privacy rights, said Rich Vestudo, Managing Director in the Discovery Practice of Deloitte's Transactions and Business Analytics. The European Union has always been very protective of personally identifiable information, he said. They shook everything up to get corporations' attention. Vestudo shared his thoughts on the best ways to comply with the GDPR. Get help quickly. If you have not developed a plan for how your global company will comply, it is time to call for help. Anyone who has not started the process of complying with the GDPR is going to find it tough, if not impossible, to become fully compliant by the deadline, Vestudo said. Most large companies have taken a year or more to locate and rein in their data and then set up systems where consumers can decide how much, if at all, they want their data shared for marketing or other purposes. Companies in the process of complying will surely have an advantage over those who have not, should regulators come knocking, he said. They can at least show they are moving forward, he said. Find your data. The first hurdle to becoming GDPR compliant is determining what type of data your organization keeps on individuals and all the places it exists. That is tremendously hard, Vestudo said. With database and business software constantly duplicated and downloaded to employees' hard drives, uploaded in the cloud, or handed off to third-party vendors, an individual's data could show up in hundreds, even thousands, of places. For a company that does not already track that information closely, detailing it will be a difficult task, he said. They have to figure out what they have and what they need to do to protect it, Vestudo said. View this as a chance to spring clean. One upside to the GDPR is that a lot of companies are going to take a close look at what data they hold and realize there is plenty that can be dumped. If companies have been retaining personal data of consumers for phased-out product lines or past consumers, the data examination piece of the GDPR compliance is an opportunity to clean out digital closets. Let us get rid of it. It is just a risk, Vestudo said about data that has lived beyond its business purpose. Having routine examinations of your data's shelf life will put your company in a better position by shedding liability and setting up processes to routinely sift out what is not needed. Do not forget third parties. While many companies are rightly focused on what they're doing with data, they need to also pay attention to what happens outside their company's four walls, Vestudo said. The way that third-party vendors and service providers process individuals' data also falls under the GDPR rules, and a company could be held responsible for relaxed approaches elsewhere. This could apply to information shipped off to law firms for litigation purposes or systems architects hired to restructure websites. Remember, this is not going away. A lot of what the GDPR has put forward is a continuation of data privacy rules adopted elsewhere. Japan and China have similarly tough-worded data privacy rules. They just have not followed it up with tough regulation, Vestudo said. He expects that, as GDPR takes effect, other countries will start enforcing the rules or move to adopt similar guidelines. And it does not mean that corporations need to just get things together by May 25, 2018 and then coast. The GDPR will be the new way of doing business, and every company doing business in Europe needs to figure out how to maintain its standards moving forward. It is the business as usual piece coming on May 26, 2018 that companies have to be ready for, Vestudo said. According to Rich Vestudo, the hard part for many will be adopting the privacy and digital accountability measures outlined in the GDPR into their everyday business practices.